Hello everyone, it's Lindsay, and today I'm back with another process video using the September kit from Creative Retreat Kits. This is Way in the Wilderness, and I sat down, I was going to do some Bible journaling, but I had a lot of prayer journaling that I wanted to do, so I decided to pull out my prayer journal for that. I think I've had one other video on this channel using this, and it's just a 6-ring binder, and it's kind of like a war binder. So I have prayers in here. Sometimes there's photos, sometimes there's not. This was a past entry that I did using mostly printables from Creative Retreat Kits. And so I wanted to do something similar today. And so I've already gone ahead and pulled out a couple of sheets to work on. And I will primarily be using printables again today just because the kit is sold out, but you can still get the printables. But I will be using some stickers, but there's some comparable items in the printables as well. I've also pulled out the Zion Alpha because I think I'm going to use that. Pulled out some washi from my stash that I thought matched the oranges. And then again, like I said, I pulled out a bunch of the printables. I will link the printer that I use, the paper that I use, all that down below. And I definitely wanted to use these amazing journaling cards, not for journaling so much, but just as some design elements. And I'm not adding bow clips to my current journaling Bible, but I figured I could go ahead and use this in my prayer binder. So I've already gone ahead and picked out some stickers to spell out some things, and it's going to be fairly quick and easy. So let me go ahead and put you guys on fast forward and we'll put this together. All right, so this is going to be a super quick layout to put together, which I think is great. You know, I typically do projects that are very labor intensive, take over an hour, but I wanted to give you guys some variety. So this is one, if you've only got 20 minutes. It only took me 20 minutes to do this layout, and honestly 5 of those minutes was spent cleaning up my dye-based ink cubes that fell onto my tan carpet while filming this. So no worries, my carpet was okay. But like I said, this is like a 15-minute layout. So I'm starting by just sticking 2 of those journaling cards down, and I'm not using these as journaling cards. They're just going to be color blocks on this page. So I'm using the left side of the page to just have some little cluster areas to use some of my favorite items from the kit. I don't know about you, but as I'm working along, sometimes I don't get a chance to use the pieces the way that I want to, or even get a chance to use them. And so this is a great way to use those up in a project like this. I did add some pen detail to those cards. I could just as easily ran this through my sewing machine, but my sewing machine had white thread in it and I didn't feel like changing it to black, which is what I wanted. So this was a lazy way to do it, but also a great option if you don't have a sewing machine. Just use a black pen or white gel pen and just add some stitching detail. It does not have to be fancy. And then I'm using, these are more printables from this kit, and I'm just, like I said, creating little clusters. I am popping some elements up on foam adhesive. Because this is going into a ringed binder, I can add foam adhesive, but if you're going to be doing something like this similar in your Bible, you may not want to use the foam. If you are not somebody that's doing a project like this, if you're only Bible journaling or something like that, don't think that you can't use what I do in these types of videos. So you can use this as inspiration for maybe that cluster of the little flowers with that Forever Free banner. Take that and use it in one of your Bible journaling entries. Or this little staggering of hexagons. Here I'm trying to try out maybe a third element to put on there, and I decide just to leave it as a 2. Ideally, I would have put like a third hexagon on there, and if I had more time, I would have dug through my stash to find one or use a punch or something. But again, just using this little element from that quadrant and use that in your Bible journaling. So you can take any of the things that I do in a video and just use it as inspiration for your own page. So that's going to be it for the left side. Very, very simple. On the right hand side here, I'm using one of those washi pieces. These are all printed on white cardstock. I'm trying to use up even the little scraps. That piece actually gets swapped out with some washi tape here in a second, but using up all my little pieces, wanting to leave myself plenty of room to journal, because like I said, that was the whole purpose of jumping into this binder. So it's going to be pretty minimal. I did stick all these onto some wax paper just so I could see what the layout was going to be before I started sticking it down on the page. And here's where I pull in that washi. Now the washi is a little bit translucent, and so it dulls down the color just a little bit, but I knew I was going to use a piece of it on the right hand side, and I didn't just want it in one place. Ideally, I would have it in 3 places, but that's just not how it worked out with this layout. I did use the sticker tab, and since it leaves a little bit hanging over the top, I'm just using my powder tool to remove the stickiness, and that way you don't have to worry about dirt and fuzzies sticking to the back of the sticker. And then now I can move on to my stamping. We are almost done. Like I said, this is super quick. I like to line up all of my alphas at once for each word. So I'm going to stamp my using some of the lavender ink from Creative Retreat. I always do the ink matching over on my blog, and I think that Danielle from Creative Retreat also sends those out in the emails, the color swatching for the Creative Retreat inks if you're curious which ones I use for each kit. Gonna chop it off with that bow, and at first I kind of thought maybe that wasn't going to work because it was covering up my stamping, but I just switched the paper clip around so it was the shorter part of the paper clip was on the front, and then it didn't cover up my stamping. And I'm just taking that same black micron pen and filling in the open spaces of that Zion Alpha just to bring a little more black over to this side. And that is it. Super easy. So if you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those down below. Check out the description box for links to everything that I used today. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And until next time, thank you so much. Bye-bye.